just seems silly. Online. You don't have the other central bank folders in your office, do you?
I don't think so. But it's not difficult to just download now.
They just need proof that sucks that I never even went through half of these. At least they were only like $5.
Maintenance.
We've got to order cards for Dallowry and Benson's because we're almost out of our Dallowry cards.
Yeah.
And I want to redo them. And then Benson's you need cards for. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
I can. How's
How
it
you
going?
doing?
Good.
It's going well. It's going well.
Sorry we were a little late. Our daughter broke her arm this weekend, so we were at the orthopedic getting her in a new splint.
Oh man. Well, what happened?
She was going down one of those tube slides and like twisted her arm back, broke her elbow.
Oh man. Poor thing.
Yeah. It's a good thing her bones are still mostly rubber, you know?
Yeah, they young. It'll grow back.
Mhm.
So yeah, so
What can
you
we
go.
help you with?
So I am really trying to dive more into my entrepreneurship journey. I recently stopped my job of what I had been doing for a while. I've just started really going in on my real estate investing front. Sorry about that, my phone. So what I was trying to reach out to you guys to focus on what I need to do to kind of grow my brand, what I need to do, like, as far as getting more exposure for my real estate company as well. I have like a lot of different things that I want to do, but I think so. I have a few Airbnbs. I do wholesaling right now, and then I'm actually taking my course right now to get my. I don't know if you remember we talked about that meeting about to get my real estate exam. So I'm in the process of getting that too. So everything's kind of really picked up lately. So I'm like, I want to kind of build a brand and kind of. I just want to get a little bit more structure. There's some things I have, like I had a VA help me make my website, but there's some changes. Like I had no part in it. So, that it might be a situation where I need you guys to look at it and say, okay, this is wrong. This needs to be fixed. I know there's some grammatical errors, some things that's not in the right area. Like I didn't do it, but I'm going to have it a little bit streamlined where things are smooth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like. When it comes to social media and stuff, I usually just post about my son most of the time or just clown on with my family and stuff, but I'm trying to get more into a lane of where I can focus on my business, So just trying to see what that looks like. really just trying to help my real estate business. And now I remember at the last meeting, you guys said you only work with one person in a specific field. Did anybody sign up with you from the group yet for the real estate?
Nope. Still
Okay,
open.
cool. Okay, cool. So yeah. And then you can kind of, I guess, let me know what that looks like as far as, like I said, I'm just getting started. So
Yeah.
what that looks like price wise, what I need to do to grow, like I can kind of explain to you everything I got going so you can kind of have a bigger idea.
Mhm.
And then you can kind of tell me what I need to do. You know, I'm just more in the sense looking for guidance, streamlining everything, how to grow this brand, how to do it organically, how to make sure my websites and things look good. You
Right.
know, all those type of things. Just making sure I'm dotting I's and crossing T's.
Yeah. So on your branding, are you wanting to be the brand or are you wanting to be the face of a brand? Because those are two totally different things. And you can be both. So like I have a brand of my own, but then I am also the face of our insurance company. But as far as
Mhm.
Dallowry goes, it's both of our faces. And so it's not a personal brand, it's a business brand that we both are representatives of. So in your mind, how does that look?
Okay, so in my mind, I have technically, so let me first tell you everything I have going on, and then you can kind of have an idea. But yes, I want to build. This is just everything I read and see. It's important to have a personal brand, you know, that you have something to fall back on.
Mhm.
Like even if you come into a job interview and you need a job, they're like, "Oh, you're so and so from.
Right.
I know you do X, Y, Z." Just period. Just as important where the world is going. So
Yeah.
the first thing is, of course, building a personal brand just for myself. And I think that would just be, you know, my entrepreneurship journey, just real estate investing, like
Right.
talking people through what it's like to wholesale, talk people through different real estate deals that's going on, the Airbnb transactions, what that looks like setting up, and so on, so on. Now, I created an LLC. So I'm from a bad area, to say the least. So I'm from a bad area, but I got a huge heart and a big passion to help those people, you know.
Mhm.
So I created a company called Hood Investors. So the goal of the company, and I can send you guys a logo and all of that, was to teach people from the hood different ways they could make money, different
Mhm.
things they could invest in, and teach them how to get their credit.
Right.
So a lot just think there's so much stuff on the internet, but sometimes it can also be a little bit overwhelming. So just trying to streamline it, speak a little bit, you know, easier for
Well, you
people to
have
be able
more
to digest.
relatability, so they're gonna listen more.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. You know, so I feel like so right now I created an IG page, and if you go to Instagram, you can kind of look it up as, or I'll give you my personal IG too, just so you can kind of look at that to kind of see what's going on. So my personal IG page is franchise 405 FRANCHIZE 405.
Okay.
But I would like to create a YouTube channel and stuff just with my name, just
Yeah.
Tremaine McDonald, just straight brand, and just pretty much that being just my journey, you
Mhm.
know, as far as the brand.
Right.
Now, Hood Investors is a different handle. So what that is, that's a page where I just want to have a page where it's just pretty much spitting out information, you
Mhm.
know, nonstop, constant. I want to be able to post something daily, probably have a post streamline where it comes in the morning, every morning, but just something educational, right?
Mhm.
But then I'm kind of torn on, you know, when it's time for me to. I know some people have like more than one, you know, more than one. Some people have more than one YouTube page or
Mhm.
podcast or whatever it looks like. But I do know it's going to be hard for anything to grow if your head's just, you know, kind of everywhere. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to kind of streamline everything. I do know I have a huge passion for a brand. I do know I have a huge, I really think I've been sitting on the idea, the Hood Investors idea, for like since the beginning of the pandemic. Pretty much, I got the logo, got the web. I never created a website for it. Just got the logo, got the name, I had all these ideas I kind of wrote down, and I'm
Mhm.
like, never did anything with it. But you know, the older you get, you're just like, okay, I need to take some action. I need to. What are you doing towards that? And it's literally nothing. So as of right now, if you go to the Instagram page, there's not one post. I
Okay.
had some posts on there, but I just deleted everything just so that way when I start off, I know I'm
Right.
streamlining everything so it kind of looks smooth.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think what else.
So
Oh,
with Hood Investors, do you want to run that forever, or do you kind of want to be able to pass the torch on? Because that would determine if it has its own YouTube page or not.
I never thought about that. If it's something I want to pass on or not.
Because if it's not something you ever want to pass on, I think you can use your personal YouTube page, but have its own Instagram and just refer this Instagram to this YouTube. But if it's something that you're like, I want to mentor other people, I want to bring other leaders up, and I want them to start taking these things from me eventually, and I want to multiply this, then it should have its own YouTube page so that when that transition happens, you've already got its own dedicated channel. You're not trying to transition information later.
Got it. Got it.
So even if
Okay.
it grows a little bit slower now because it's two separate channels, I think long term you'll be happier with it being on two separate channels.
Got
Just
it.
like you
Okay.
have Instagram.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Perfect. So as far as how you're communicating with people, that's one of the very first like structure points that can help you grow without you having to multiply your energy going in. So do you have a CRM right now? What are you using for like emails, texts, phone calls, follow-ups, appointments?
Okay. So with my wholesaling company, that's really the only place right now. My real estate business is the only place I have a CRM.
Okay.
As far as business wise, right?
Mhm.
So with my Airbnbs, I do that. I have 3 of them. 2 of them are on the platform. One I just do privately, like I do monthly bookings, like for travel nurses, stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So 2 are actually on Airbnb's platform. So that's done through the platform. My wholesaling company, I have a VA who makes calls for me, and we use a CRM called REI Reply to actually get the leads in. He blast text, cold call, those type of things, right? And then people that are interested, I actually handle acquisitions and dispo. I'll call people, try to negotiate a deal, and then get it to the close. So as far as that, now as far as right now with my website, I had a VA kind of set up some stuff, but he was overseas, and I've been trying to get a hold of him. Kind of one of them situations where
Right.
I need to double check and make sure, like, there's things that aren't streamlined correctly, like my emails, like info at blah, 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 at TremaineMcDonald.com. I need to make sure that that's set up correctly. You know, just little things like that I know for a fact that I need to make sure I'm on top of that I'm not right now. Like, I've never got a lead from my website, but mind you, I just did the website like 2 months ago. And it's
Sure.
not like I don't run any ads for it. I don't even know if it was never, I don't think it's set up on Google either. So not that I'm aware of. But
Gotcha.
these are all the things that I'm feeling like that I need to structure, I need to get in place, you know, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Yeah. Where did he build your website on? Was it Wix or Weebly or WordPress, or do you know?
I think they use like Hostinger and something else. I can look through my emails and I can tell you for sure.
It's
Like,
the
I can text you.
Lake Show Properties.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
And it looks different on a computer than it
Right.
does
Yeah.
on phone.
I'm just thinking, so cost wise, it might be more effective for your personal brand if you started using our CRM. And the reason being is you have email, text, you have forms, funnels, you can do landing pages, websites, and that doesn't cost you anything extra. It also has a social planner so that you can either schedule out your posts, or if you wanted us to do your content, we can schedule it for you. It does connect to your Google My Business. So any reviews that come in, you can answer directly in the platform, and there is a mobile app. And so all of that stuff is $99 a month. And it gets you access to anything and everything. What I think would be the most powerful in the CRM, honestly, long term, is it does allow for online courses. And so as you start building your education base and you start seeing like, oh, I have a lot of these questions, then you can build an online course and sell it for $5-10 where it's very, very affordable, but you're doing the work once and getting paid residuals over and over and over again based on that question that is being asked consistently. And so I think that would be something really powerful. Start with, the basics that you need right now, but to have a CRM that you can grow into over time and that has a lot of capabilities for you to use in the future is going to be huge. And we just started, actually, we just launched our community. It's in beta right now, but basically think of it like an online chat forum where all your people can come together and you can set up different like chat channels essentially. You can add pictures, videos, PDFs, anything and everything that you want there. And you can also link your courses so that those members have access to specific courses. So what we're seeing is some of our networking groups, they're starting online communities and they're charging people to be in those communities. And if you pay $15-25 a month, you get access to all these courses for free. And so it's a really good way to build up residual income as well. Because again, the less you work for your money, the harder you can work for your money. And so if you can build up residual channels, that's going to be the best for you.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys as well. So as far as what else was I going to ask you? Oh, so right now my personal brand, let's say for instance, you guys would help set me up a website, do all that type of stuff through the CRM, everything through the $100 a month. Okay. Would that come with like the info at TremaineMcDonald.com, all that type of stuff?
So you'd have to pay for Google or some other type of email service for that. Google's $70 a year for a personalized email. And that way it already has all the security protocols in place. You can find emails cheaper someplace else, but I like the security features when you go direct to Google. You have way less email issues later on.
So that's the setting up info at yourname.com, right?
Right.
And making you a Google. So question. So let me first finish telling you everything I have going on. I haven't even told you everything. Okay. All right. So I own a daycare center as well. It's in Bethany, Oklahoma, but that has zero social media presence. I'm not saying it got to, but I mean, really the cheapest thing that I could do that you think might help, is fine. But it's been kind of just running on its own. We used to be Northeast Oklahoma City I've had it for like 15 years. We used to be in Northeast Oklahoma City. Now we're in Bethany. Since we moved to Bethany, the business just kind of took off. We literally didn't do nothing but just moved, and everything took off and got way better. But my mom run it, my sister run it, and I got like 2 other girls just run everything. I'm literally never there but to say hi to the kids and hand out snacks. But it's a business that I kind of created for my mom and sister and them, so they never have to work for anybody else. And it's been going. It's kind of makes it where they can take care of themselves. Anytime I need any money, like say something comes up, right, and I'm like, man, I need $3,000. I can go to the daycare and get it. But I don't like take anything out monthly. But just if anything happens, I just go get it.
Right.
So I was wondering. I'm just telling you everything I have going on because no telling how you guys can help me. So we got the daycare center. Because I have the Airbnbs, I also started a cleaning company. So I have an online website for that. If you go to all of these, the links are up under my Instagram on Franchise 405. So there's an Extra Care Cleaners LLC is the name of it. So type in extra EXTRA cleaners LLC.com. Now I didn't know when I first got it that there was somebody else who had extracarecleaners.com, which I think is in Orlando. So I ended up just putting LLC at the end of it. But I later found out I wasn't aware that instead of doing .com, I could have did like .co or all this other stuff,
.io.
Kind of get it to go. But but anyways, but I'm just telling you what's going on right now. So right now with my cleaning company, all I do is like, since I have Airbnbs and I have friends who have Airbnbs, what happens is anytime my jobs, I get a booking, I'll pretty much dispo out a cleaner and I'll charge people just a little bit more than what I pay a cleaner, and I pay by the job. So say for instance, if I'm charging somebody $125 to clean their house, I may charge the client $160, right?
Right.
And just pocket the other 30, 40. And just so you kind of know what that looks like on my end. I recently just signed up for Angie's ads. Actually, it wasn't recently. It was like at the beginning of the year. And I never used it because they had me in the wrong, for whatever reason, they had me set up wrong, where it was, y'all familiar with Angie's ads? Like a marketing thing. So I was paying them $300 a month for leads. I was on a 1-year contract. I just now started getting cleaning leads like a month or two ago. The first couple months, it was giving me leads for all kind of stuff, and I was calling them, asking them to fix it. I was sending them emails. Make a long story short, it just got fixed. But the problem is, it's giving me jobs like in the Panhandle and random places instead of giving me just a target marketed area.
Right.
You know, so with my cleaning company, my dad lives in Texas, in Dallas, and he's been doing some of the jobs for me. So when I get off the phone with you, I'm calling Angie to get them to move the target market to where he's at, because he's gonna do all the jobs for me. And he makes more money doing the cleaning than what he was doing for his 9 to 5.
Right.
So he was like, just give me these jobs instead. I'd rather do that.
Right.
So with my cleaning company, I want to change my target marketing to where it could just only be in that Dallas area.
Okay.
I have a website for it. I don't, as far as anything else, I don't know if it's on Google. I need to double check the email. I haven't received any emails. I haven't, on both these websites, mind you, they both were just created within the past 30 to 60 days. So it's not like something that's been going for 20 years.
Right.
Literally, all this is brand new. And they both were created by the same VA. Okay. So, but since I didn't do it, I don't really have hands on that. And I haven't received one lead from any website. So that could be that it could be set up wrong, could be, you know, I don't know what, but I'm just telling you that they're both active, but I haven't received any traction at all. Not an email or not a nothing. Okay. So the cleaning company, then of course I have the Airbnbs. Those just kind of run on their own, you know. But as far as what I need help with, I think the CRM, like you talked about, I did have an idea to do a course, you know, just kind of talking about, like you talked about. Do you guys do courses like through Kajabi or anything like that, where people like record
CRM is kind of like Kajabi. It just has a whole lot more than Kajabi. So imagine like Monday.com and HubSpot and Kajabi all in one. That's what this is. Because basically what happened was, when I was starting the insurance brokerage, I had to switch CRMs like 15 times in 2.5 years, because every time I'd get into one, I'd grow out of it. And so I was just done and pissed with the CRMs. And so we partnered with, have you heard of Go High Level?
I don't know much about
popular CRM that's starting to come up. You see it a lot on TikTok and stuff like that. So basically we partnered with Go High Level to create our own CRM, and what we offer and our price points, that's all us. And then we help with the IT side, so that you're not having to deal with a different time zone or somebody across the world trying to understand what you're talking about. You just talk to us, and then we work out any IT issues or any questions that you have. So I think what would be best is if we put together kind of a proposal for you on each of these, with pricing on each of those things, so that you can kind of say, like, I like this, this, and this is where I want to start. But that way you have kind of a whole picture landscape of like what's possible, instead of trying to just run through the numbers verbally. I think it'd be better if we could put together a proposal for each of these companies and kind of say, like, with these steps and this implementation, here's where you should be in 6 to 8 months, you know, because organic's going to take longer. It is, compared to paid ads. But if you go organic, it's going to stick a lot longer too. So it takes a little bit longer to build, but it's way more consistent in the long run. So we highly recommend organic. But does that sound good to you?
Yeah, it does. What else was I going to ask you? So like, even with like, And I don't know for sure, like with the daycare, I know this sounds bad to say, but I'm like, I don't even know if I need to do nothing with it because it's been just kind of running on its own, you know.
Honestly, all I would do is maybe figure out what's like, how do we write out the systems that you're using that are working, and then
Mhm.
sell the system to other people who are wanting to open daycares.
Right.
Like if it's already working, I wouldn't mess with it. I would just look at why is it working and let's write that process down, and then
Mhm.
let's list it online and let's sell it $5,000 daycare startup kit. Here's your instructions and how to,
Yeah.
because clearly you
Mhm.
guys have hit something right. So I wouldn't mess with it. I would just try and sell it, sell the idea, sell the structure without selling the company itself.
Got it. Okay.
So, I mean, that's all
Um,
I would do with the daycare.
Yeah. And I think that
okay.
I think one of the best things to do would be to kind of get, like she said, build proposals and say, this is all the a la carte type stuff that like we can come in and fix this, we can fix this, like let's get this streamlined. And then here's the monthly recurring at the end. If you
Got
want
it.
to do it this way, this way, this way, but here's all the things,
Yeah.
like, just like a mechanic would do. Here's all the issues with your car.
Right.
What do we want to tackle?
Right.
Or do we want to just say, get everything fixed? I want everything optimized. I want everything SEO backed. I want everything working properly and plugged together.
Mhm.
And then we can do all that. And then it's okay. Then after all those things are done, this is what the monthly recurring would be for like a CRM, or if you had whatever we come up with in a plan that we come up with.
Got it. So it's for me too, and just so you kind of know level of importance, the number one most important thing to me is, of course, the real estate business out
Okay.
the gate. That's Lakeshore Properties is my number one priority right now. Like making sure I can get leads in organically. If somebody's just typing in houses for sale, sell my house fast on Google,
Right.
making sure it's SEO optimized. If somebody Googles that,
Yeah.
I can start to receive some type of traction. That's probably my number one
Yeah.
thing for sure.
Okay.
So my real estate business, I would say, is first.
Okay.
And then trying to figure out how to grow these brands, because I would like to start a YouTube podcast, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
For hood investors and stuff, I would say that's second, and then of course the cleaning company third.
Okay.
And sadly enough, the daycare is last, even though the daycare has been the most consistent. And
It needs
I
to
think,
let the squeaky wheel gets the attention. So if it's not a
yeah,
squeaky wheel,
exactly.
it's on the table, but it's not a concern.
Yeah, I just wanted y'all to kind of already know kind of where I was going with that. And let me see here. I'm trying to see. I had a note here. Yeah, so that's probably the most important thing. Oh, okay. Lastly, I have an idea, and you can just kind of help me with this. Okay. So I know part of the biggest things with people that do podcasts or YouTube is most people, this is just from what I hear or read, most people stop after like, I think 5 to 10 episodes just because people not watching, or they get tired or they run out of stuff to talk about. So, and I would just probably want you guys help, guidance on this. So I used to love the Dave Ramsey show. So I went from, of course, now listening to Grant Cardone and everybody else, you kind of get you're like, oh no, this is wrong. If I listen to Uncle Dave, I'm not gonna be able to buy a house for 10 years. I gotta save up and pay it off cash and all this stuff, right? But there was one thing I do remember is like really trying to want to be debt free just so I could ring the bell, and literally I just wanted to be debt free. So I was like, man, maybe one day I'll be on the show and I can ring the bell that I'm debt free. Like it was something that I look forward to. And some part of Hood Investors, something I wanted to do is I had this idea of creating a show where maybe every week I interview a first-time home buyer who bought a house and talk about their journey. Most people when they buy a house, everybody's like, man, we had to do this, we had to do that. But that's all you hear. You never really hear nobody go into detail on what they had to do.
Right.
So I just wanted to have maybe a special of each week. That way I could stay consistent with episodes. Maybe I didn't know if I should put a spot in the show or just have that be it where, you know, I reached out and had like maybe the listing realtor on the show and that person, but just celebrated that person and allowed them to kind of talk to their journey, but on the channel, talk about different lending options, have different mortgage brokers on, like talk about different FHA loans, different, you know, conventional
Yeah.
loans, different ways people can get in the house, different programs without them having to spend as much money,
Yeah.
but having a specific point each week where I celebrated somebody and people look forward to buying a house so they could be on that show where they got celebrated. Because I don't know of a show where when you buy a house, you know, HGTV has the flip your house shows, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know a show where you get that reaction from somebody and you speak to them and they tell you what they had to go through to get it.
Right.
You know, and just not a long out thing, but just interviewing somebody 5 to 10 minutes on a section each week where I could interview that realtor, build a relationship with them, interview the person who was their first time buying a house. And, you know, I have this idea to celebrate them, you know, because it's a big deal. Some people don't got somebody to celebrate them.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I could totally see that where, you know, if you wanted to do weekly, I think you could put out weekly, but I think that would be something that would be very obtainable to do where it's like we have, you know, you would do like a shoot day where you would maybe book out 4 hours somewhere and you would have these people basically back to back and get 4 interviews or 6 interviews. And then they all get chopped and edited and whatnot. And then they just get released every week. So that way, because for your sake, you're not doing something every week, like, oh, every Tuesday at this time, I have to be here. I have to do this.
Right.
You're doing it all in one day. And then
That's perfect.
it gets chopped and edited and done up. And then it just, you know, all the back end stuff for Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, you know, because I mean, you would want to record it audio and video. So then you could put on TikTok, every
Do
platform.
you guys y'all doing YouTube and stuff right now?
Yeah, so we have a YouTube. We use like any of our so like this conversation we use what's called Opus Clip. And basically what it does is you can dump an hour-long video in and it auto clips it into like 30-second, 60-second clips for you to post on social media. And then I post on TikTok, and then I've got Repurpose IO, which is like $15-20 a month. And if I post it on TikTok, it automatically posts it on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, anywhere and everywhere. So I only post once, but I have 26 posts of that one post.
Yeah.
Well, I need you to put me on. Well, definitely.
Yeah. It's a lifesaver, especially like Opus Clip. We had, I mean, like 48 hours worth of video that I was just going, oh, I don't want to edit it. And now with Opus Clip, we don't have to. Like, is it perfect? No. Does it need to be? Absolutely not. It just needs to get out there. It's more about being in front of people enough times where they learn to trust you and they know who you are than it is about perfection. Because honestly, perfection is only going to drive a wedge between you and your ideal client more times than not. They want to see reality and you messing up. And there's videos I post where I'm like stumbling over my words or like swatting at a fly mid-meeting, like, but that's who I am. So that's what I post.
Well, good. Well, yeah, I definitely will be interested in you guys teaching me about that, you know, what that looks like. But personal brand for me will be more in the sense of kind of maybe like me, people hearing some of my live cold calls with customers, sellers. You know, I know you see those channels where people are like going through, where people want to hear what is it like to speak to a seller, touring houses, having them, you know, me maybe going on property appointments when I'm going to go look at houses, you know, just the real estate journey, walking through the details of when you get paid on short-term rentals. This is what it looks like here. This is the cleaning fee, giving them a breakdown, you know, all the details. That's more along the sides of the educational side on the personal brand. But the Hood Investors is more community related. That's something that could be passed to somebody else to take over in the future, you know, type thing. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, yeah, let us put together, I'll put it all in one document, but it'll be several proposals, and we'll just kind of go in like, here's our first recommendation, and then 2, 3, and 4, and here's what those cost. And that way you can decide what's most important to you and what you have the budget that you're wanting to spend on it for. But you can also kind of see, it's going to be the long-term game, right? So like,
Right.
I don't want you to think when we send this, like, oh, they want everything right now. Like, no, this is what we're growing into. And this is step 1 through step 10. But that way you have a really clear landscape of what's to come for these companies to grow in the way that you're wanting them to grow.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Well,
All
I'll
right.
send you this recording as well. We always do. That way you can look back over it in case there's something you're like, what did they say about this? So we'll send you a YouTube link on this. But other than that, we'll get that to you by the end of the week.
Okay, thank you. Oh, and I also don't have a website for Hood Investors at all.
Okay.
All I have for Hood Investors is an IG page and an LLC.
Okay.
So
Do you own the domain yet?
maybe.
Okay.
I'm not tech. If you can't tell, I'm not tech savvy. Hence why I got fired.
What all LLCs do you have? You have the one for the
Extra Cleaners LLC, Hood Investors LLC, what was it? Lakeview, Lakeshore?
Lake Show Properties.
Lake Show Properties LLC. Do you have
And
your
then
own
my
personal?
name. Yeah, I just did my name.
Okay.
Like 2 or 3 months ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then obviously the daycare has an LLC.
Correct.
Okay.
But
So we already have a website for the real estate and we already have a website for the cleaning company, but we do not for the personal brand or Hood Investors. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, I think that's all we need from you right now. We'll get to work.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Bye.